Alright guys, today's goal, the learner will master the use of properties of exponents. Okay, so we have all these properties here. It says evaluate the expression, tell which properties of exponents are used. So power to a power you multiply, so you have 4 to the 6th. And that is the power of a power. Power of a power. Okay? Negative 8, so that would be negative 8 to the 4th. Make sure you keep the parentheses there because that is not the same thing as this. Okay? And which property is that? Product of powers. Okay? Here, 2 to the 3rd over 9 to the 3rd. And you can calculate that with the calculators, but that's pretty much it right there. And what property is that? Power of a quotient. Okay? Here you have, so watch what I do. 2/3. See how I simplify the 6th and the 9th, and then you get times 10 to the 11th. Why? Well, that negative 4 moves down, so you got to move it down. And if 4 of them move down, 7 plus 4 is 11. Or if you subtract negative 4 minus 7 is negative 11, move it down to become positive. Okay? And which property is that? Well, that's a few of them. You could say quotient of powers or negative exponent. Okay? All right, let's move on. Okay, it says simplify the expression, tell which properties of exponents you used. Okay. So here we have x to the negative 6 plus 5 plus 3. X squared. That is the product property. Okay? So here we have 7 y to the 2 plus negative 4, z to the 5 plus negative 1. So we're still using that same one, but we get that negative 2, z to the 4th. We got to make that positive, so that's the negative property, the negative exponent property. And all it does is move it down. Here I would do this, s to the 3rd, t to the 4th. See how I made that using the negative? Instead, since it's in the bottom, it moves up. See, when it's in the top, it moves down. When it's in the bottom, it moves up. Now you have power to a power property, so multiply. You get s to the 6th, t to the 8th. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay. First thing I would do, simplify what's inside. So I have x, because 4 minus the 3 is 1. And I already have a y to the 6 on the bottom, but that y squared goes down. So then I have x over y to the 8th, because they're both in the bottom, so you add to the 3rd. Now, power to a power, you multiply. So you have x to the 3rd, y to the 24th. Okay? So let's take a look now at some scientific notation. It says, write your final answer in scientific notation. Okay, so first just start. 7 times 5, 35. 10 to the 3rd, 10 to the 4th, they're the same base, add the exponents. Times 10 to the 7th. That is not scientific notation because this base, the base of a scientific notation, has to be greater than or equal to 1 and less than 10. So here's the decimal. Move it back 1. So you get 3.5 times 10 to the, and you got to add 1 to it, 7 plus 8. Because what that means is you do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's how many times you multiplied by 10. So that would be 3, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's the number, but scientific notation is 3.5 times 10 to the 8th. When you have to move it backwards, you add 1. If you ever have to move it forwards, you subtract 1. Okay? Let's look at another example. So here, just do 14 divided by 7, 2. 10 to the 5th divided by 10 to the 3rd is subtract. What's 5 minus 3? 2. So you have 2 times 10 to the 2nd. Done. Okay, let's look at the last one. Okay, so you could try to do this in calculator, but the first thing we got to do is put it in scientific notation. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I get 7.2 times 10 to the 10th divided by. Let's see how we're going the opposite way this time. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be 1.2 times 10 to the negative 4th. So if I subtract, I know I'm going to end up with times 10 to the 14th, because 10 minus negative 4. Now, the other piece you need to do is divide 7.2 by 1.2. And you get 6. So you get 6 times 10 to the 14th. The base is between 1 and 10, so we're good to go. See you guys tomorrow.